They have, I want to say, readied up. There goes btfm, so they must have readied up. And we are off.
Good luck, have fun.
Into Concrete Man stage, the first stage of our journey here. I know Slurpee has a lot of mashing in this game. BT, haven't seen too much outside of, I think both of these runners beat me in this tournament, so I'm neutral.
Yeah, they're really, really good at mashing. They have these stages down. This elephant in specific here, 15 shots from the buster.
15 shots, and oddly, probably the most mash-heavy part of the game right away, although Slurpee's going to add more mashing. They're pretty much in sync here. I know their tire's slightly off, but not too big a deal. Only a couple seconds here. They're going almost frame for frame, it looks like.
Yeah, I think with this, the time there, Slurpee is ahead by about a second or two.
Yep. If they actually manage to go the entire race, frame for frame, RNG for RNG, I will be very surprised. But that would be amazing. Concrete Man, kind of a normal, there's really not much. It's keep going, just jump through stuff stage. The fight itself, we're going to get at least a little separation probably. Concrete Man, just stay close, keep using that buster.
Yeah, you want them to ideally stay on the ground. You want them to charge at you. You don't want them to jump up. That's where you're going to lose a lot of time. Both runners do it fantastically and just pretty much in sync.
Both of them finishing right there in the middle of the room. And like you said, I think
Mega Mans are looking at each other.
They're staring each other down from across the race layout. Synchronized weapon yets. So Concrete Man's weapon, just too useful. It's great on mid bosses. It's great for movement. And Magma Man, not at all weak against Concrete Shot, but maybe those lava beams are.
Yeah, the lava beams are really useful to skip through. It doesn't save you too much time. Every second counts. Especially when you're 5 seconds apart from each other.
Yeah, BT taking a little knockback there. Not too much, but you know, it's kind of the race where you're starting to look for where are like the one or two mistakes that are going to make the difference.
And BT
like that one.
Missing his jump.
Those jumps right there are not at all trivial, getting past these lava beams.
Yeah, no, the damage boosts are pretty simple, but getting that jump, because I believe it's a jump and then a jump off a concrete block just to freeze that first one.
Yeah, if you get past it, you're saving something on the order of, I think it's only 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah, not much.
But you're going to see that from both sides, or at least the attempt of it.
Yeah,
time
BT
is time.
Going safe here. He's got to save that concrete for the second part. Ooh, Slurpee goes for the zip through, but doesn't get it.
That is a 1 pixel window. Slurpee not quite hitting it. Not too big a deal, but you know, again, if BT decides to go for both of those and get them, he's going to get 8 of those seconds back. He's going to need them.
Yeah, I think it probably put him about 15-20 seconds behind, just taking that death, but nothing that can't be made up.
Yeah, I think we'll find out how much it is. I feel like it's a little more than that from that point in the stage. That's the unfortunate part of it.
And he gets zipped through.
Very nice.
And he gets that one where Slurpee had to wait for that one.
Slurpee, meanwhile, had a very nice Magma Man fight. I don't think Magma Man spent very much time outside of iframes there. BT showing up just in time to see Slurpeeninja beam out. So the fight itself, Magma Man's just hopping around here, 1 or 2 of these little platforms.
Yeah.
We've just got the Buster, so 1 point of damage every shot. Need 28.
Yeah, it's like you said before, he does one of two attacks, if you could call it that. Either one jump and shoots three fireballs, or two jump and shoots three fireballs.
Yep. Looks like it's going to be a little more than a 30-second difference here. So BT looking to hoping Slurpee misses something. Slurpee goes off to Galaxy Man stage here.
Either that or Casino just is not nice to him.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both.
So you'll see our runners here to take two different routes. Slurpee going with Galaxy, where BT's going to take Hornet.
No real time difference between the two. It's just really preference which stage you go to first. At this point, you have both weaknesses, and neither weapon gets used too much in either stage. Both stages actually making use of Rush Coil. Hornet only a little bit early on, but it does save time despite the menu time. Coil in Galaxy Man stage, though, is just used everywhere, especially the second half of the stage, where, that screen right there, just vertical movement instead of climbing a bunch of ladders, just coil up the platforms. PT getting a pretty good flower mid-boss there, just want to call that out.
Yeah, it wasn't a great one, but it wasn't bad. It was in a decent spot where he could jump down and easily get it, so...
Yeah, no problem for runners at this tier. Slurpee coming up on the last real screen of Galaxy Man stage here, getting one of these choppers that, these spike draggers almost, looking to get you into spikes, but we know how to use them for speed. Slurpee able to use that last one, which is really probably the most dangerous one of them, especially because it's at the end of the stage, so that's a lot of time if you take the death.
Yeah, and exactly. If you miss that first jump, it's an instant death. Unless you did Hornet Man stage first.
We here at the Mega Man 9 tournament would like to remind you at this early hour that 2 swoops of Galaxy Man is part of your complete breakfast. Slurpee Man handling that pattern perfectly.
Yeah, that was a great fight by both runners there. Just finishing up Hornet for BT.
BT with a great Hornet Man fight as well. So no time... I don't think there's really any time lost either way on that one. Sequel of Pepsi Man. And off into the next stage. So we kind of mentioned there, Hornet Man, you use Coil in these early 2 screens. It's definitely still worth it just with the speed of climbing ladders and everything else. The most annoying thing about it is now you have to summon Rush just to use the Buster for the next few things.
Yeah, as long as you're, used to having him out, it's not terrible, sorry. The first time it gets kind of hairy because you kind of forget he's out and you forget that you have to do that double shot. So it looks like Slurpee getting a great flower there.
For whatever reason, it feels like whoever is in the lead gets the better RNG in so many of these speedrun tournaments. Second half of Hornet Man stage, part of not wanting to switch to concrete for a while is just, menu time, not wanting to do that. You also get a little bit here of, you have almost exact ammo on Concrete Man for the rest of the stage to be able to make that little jump over the barrier there. And, just time saves. Slurpee knowing where to use the concrete, how to use it, because you only have 14 shots, and 5 of them are on that flower.
Yeah, that's if you don't miss, too.
Oh, yeah.
Flower can be a bit of a jerk sometimes.
So despite both Robot Masters number 3 going down around the same time, it's really just Hornet Man stage is that much faster as a stage itself. Slurpee done with number 4 at about 9:33 according to his timer. BT getting to Galaxy Man. Let's see if we get the 2 swoops again.
No swoop.
This game Oh, you know, I think it's just our just the reframe. The reframe. My goodness, it is too early. The restreams quality. Sometimes you just can't see those iframes right away. I think he got 4 hits on the ground. You can get up to 5.
Yeah, hitting
Either way,
that fifth
BT
is
doing a
pretty
good job.
rough, but it is possible.
So Slurpee here using the Buster on this first really long screen of Jewel Man stage. You can use some other weapons there, but if you know how to mash, if you know where everything is, Buster is the optimal strat. Just because you save that menu. 2 or 3 seconds saved at the top. Slurpee way too close to the end of that spike swing.
Getting a good cheese ball.
Forgot Slurpee uses concrete for a lot of this stage.
I think this is the first time I've ever seen someone use concrete there. That was interesting.
Yeah, most players will use magma for that section. Slurpee proven that you don't need magma. Concrete works pretty well. And then Black Hole at the end. It is a great weapon for so many places to clear out almost casually. In this case, it is also the weakness of the Robot Master, so there we go. BT, good cheese ball using Magma Man to clear it out. Unfortunately, it was spawned all the way on the left side.
Yeah, you ideally want the cheese ball all the way on the right, but great Galaxy Man fight. Or, sorry, Jewel Man.
There's Galaxy Man's weapon. We're good. Yeah, yeah, tell us about this fight as BT approaches it.
Yeah, so you basically want to throw the black holes not too high and not too and every time you jump with Mega Man, basically Jewel Man will jump. So you want to kind of manipulate him into jumping kind of up and down into the black holes properly. If done correctly, you'll only need 2. So there's 1, number 2.
Really nice from BT.
So Slurpee moving on here to Splash Woman state.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it yet, I guess. The robots, the reason that we did have kind of 2 weakness orders going on is after 5 robots, we get the Rush Jet. The last 3 robots remaining are the ones where Rush Jet's going to be extremely useful in. So as long as you do plug before Tornado, it doesn't really matter what your order is for the last 3.
Yeah, once again showing the different route diverts here. BT going for plug before splash, and Slurpee going for splash before plug. Once again, really doesn't make a difference.
Yep, Slurpee here showing off the classic bubble skip here using Rush Jet. This is the hardest jump in the whole thing. Perfect. It's a little tricky to make sure you don't spawn Rush into those spikes.
Yeah, and spawning Rush in general, especially above your head, can be kind of tricky sometimes.
Speaking of spikes, BT just missing one of the Yoku blocks there in Plugman stage.
Oh, the Yoku blocks.
Unfortunate there. BT needs Slurpee to just miss a few things and probably take a death at this point.
Yeah, costly one at that too, but still time to make up, you never know.
Slurpee had a nice, continued use of Rush Jet in those platform rooms earlier. Now on to Splash Woman. I hope you didn't blink because the fight's already over.
Yeah, that was a great fight. That is not an easy fight to do. She basically moves around and will summon the Barracudas, and you basically shoot the bees out, but they kind of have a mind of their own. So you got to shoot them very precisely. Not only that, you got to kind of separate them to kind of hit her with the iframes.
Yeah, they're almost like flares to like divert homing missiles at the end of the day. But Slurpee knows the technique.
Yeah, that was a great fight.
BT making it to the end of the stage here with just enough Rush Jet. Doesn't get the Big Mama jump. Plugman stage is a tricky one because the whole thing, from the moment you beam in, you're kind of on the clock. The Yoku block's on a global timer for the stage. So we'll see where Slurpee ends up as BT gets to the Plugman fight itself. Good fight.
Slurpee getting a great set of Yoku blocks there as well. Didn't even use Rush Jet one.
Yeah, I'm seeing more and I'm noticing myself more and more that the top runners just don't even use Rush Jet in the first section. Gives them more Rush Jet for the end of the stage. Of course, doing that first half properly, because it is a global timer, they know where the blocks are going to be when they get here on the second time. That lets them use Rush Jet pretty easily through the second half of the stage, knows where to pilot Rush. Slurpee with no trouble on the really long dark screen. That just felt really close to flying into those blocks. Slurpee knows what he's doing, though.
Yeah, I thought he was going to hit that block there and he was going to get pushed off the Rush Jet into the spikes.
Nailing that big mama jump as well. Plugman, weak to Jewel Man's shield weapon in this game. So you largely do end up needing to get almost like in melee range with him. It's exact ammo, so you gotta be a little careful. Slurpee taking care of business.
Yeah, usually if you miss a shot, the backup would be Magma Bazooka.
Sort of the universal backup of this game.
And oh, BT getting the bubble skip there.
Very nice. That last jump, going for that one over going the one in the middle, I think it's roughly 3 seconds saved. It's just a really tight jump to just not jump into the spikes, to not spawn Rush inside the wall. There's so much that can go wrong there, and it's great to see everybody getting it.
Yeah, and if you jump on the small bubbles a little too early there, they'll despawn, and that can be bad too. Because if you fall, you're basically falling all the way back down.
Yeah, it's a huge time loss. Slurpee going the top route here. These batteries, similar to Plugman stage, global timer again, so if you go slowly through the first part of the stage at all, you've got to be a little careful here. Great Splash Woman fight from BT as well. So Slurpee getting that large drop for Rush Jet. Those battery platforms, if you stand on them, you're kind of stuck, magnetized to them, flipping over. It's terrible. Just don't do it. Just don't ever do it.
Yeah, this can be a big run killer, especially this next part here because we utilize Rush Jet here because the rain pushes us back every time so we're gonna use Rush Jet here to basically just to skip this part. But if he takes a death after this, that's where it can be pretty bad. Because as you see, we had enough Rush Jet just to get through that section.
Yep, another example of, just routing at work, knowing exactly where to use Rush. The rain pushing you forward in this last section, so Slurpee spending a lot of time in the air. BT not going for the top route on the batteries there. I believe that saves Slurpee all of 40 frames going the top route.
Yeah, it's not much of a save. Usually you'll have enough Rush Jet once picking this big fill up there. Just to get through that second part.
It feels like it's more than that, but yeah, it's just so much time spent on those batteries. It does make the second half a lot easier. So there's that. I guess it's where do you want the stage to be tricky?
Yeah, exactly, because basically here, BT's going to do these platforms, which if you practice them, they're not terrible.
Slurpee entering the Wily stages, at least through the stage select, at 1930. There's BT working his way to the end of Tornado Man stage. this last section. It always looks so terrifying, jumping over all those things.
Oh, but once you do it once or twice, it's so satisfying.
It is. Slurpee onto the first Wily stage here, using the Buster through the first part. Sometimes you'll see Jewel Satellite, but again, that's a menu. Slurpee wants no part of that.
Yeah, BT also having a really good Tornado Man fight.
BT out of Tornado Man at little after 2030, so a little more than a minute behind Slurpee at this point. Slurpee gonna show off some mashing here, I believe, with Rush Jet.
Yeah, he's gonna use the Rush Jet kill on the dragon.
Oh my god, that's too fast. 15 bullets to take down the dragon.
It really doesn't seem like that was 15 bullets, but
I trust Slurpee's version.
Another really scary part right here, using the Rush Jet to get over these magma beams.
And the extra, almost swag, except it does save time jump. Full jump off that ladder, perfectly safe. Getting through this screen with those spikes along the top row.
And on to the spike pushers.
Yeah, Slurpee down to 2 points of ammo on the Rush Jet. So Slurpee, I believe, he didn't touch concrete at all. So we're going to see a little route divergence, I think, in the next stage, or at least a little strat divergence.
Yeah, I expect Slurpee to pick up at least one of those power-up fill-ups in Wily 2 here, but
Slurpee having a little bit of trouble from the spike pusher here. Spike pushers are going to push. Down to the last two on the top. Just taking it on top.
Either.
Yeah, he's saving everything.
BT catching up, though. So I think that was 22-26.
Something around there. And the spike pusher is just a really long fight. Yeah, you spend a lot of time each bullet pushing things back. And Slurpee here, I think, is going to just use concrete. This is sort of the benefit of not touching your concrete ammo in Wily 1. Now you have all 14 of those shots here, because like a lot of classic Mega Man games, you do not get your weapon energy back in the middle of the Wily stages.
Ooh, having a little bit of issue with that block.
So
wasted a little more than they wanted to.
Well, a lot more. You do want 5 points of ammo for the flower mid-boss. That's going to be coming up again. Slurpee kind of making his decision here, because he's down to 2 shots. Going with plug ball. I think Slurpee is just kind of reaching for what to use here as BT takes care of the spike pushers. You know, at first I was thinking, why laser trident? This is why. He's saved the menu here. So that's just improvisation at some point comes into play.
Yeah, I won't lie to you. I was kind of just thinking the same thing. I kind of thought he mismenued there, but once he came down, it made sense.
I think we've all been there on some level with Mega Man games. Slurpee making these really hard jumps look ridiculously easy. You kind of get to a boss, you're out of ammo, and it's kind of like, well, now what do I use?
Yeah, really good at thinking on the fly.
And BT taking care of business in the early part of the stage. So that's going to be some time gained back, but like we were saying, it's over a minute he needs.
Yeah, he had a really good flower fight there, so
he
that'll definitely save some time.
That's a huge chunk of time he's gaining back. Slurpee with a really clean end of the stage, kind of making up for past mistakes.
So on to the shark here.
Mega Mecha Shark or something like that.
I just call it Jaws.
I just say Shark Tank.
So 3 phases. We'll do the back end, which will shoot rockets. We'll do the tummy, and then we'll have to do the face. Weak to laser trident, but tornado will work on the stomach.
Yeah,
but I expect them to save the tornado for the Wily 3 platform jumping stage or part.
Yeah, it's a classic use for it. Just again, I think Slurpee more just not wanting to use the menu. Tornado is really good if you're low on health, so you don't have to risk jumping up into those spikes. Slurpee had a lot less health than BT though, and just takes care of business. Beaming in here at roughly 25.52.
Yeah, BT just getting to the Mecha Shark here, so we'll see how his fight goes.
Slurpee using the coil to get as high up on the screen as you can because you don't really have any control over your vertical speed here. Gotta wiggle for victory here. No strat implications, it just looks cool.
BT finishing the shark, good fight.
BT was well over a minute behind the beam out at Tornado Man stage here. Beam out within 50 seconds.
Yeah, I think we're about a minute. You said 25.52 is when Slurpee went in. We're about 26.3.
Yep. More vertical scrolling.
Yeah, this one's specific. You gotta kind of push yourself against the wall here, the left wall. Otherwise, the helicopter won't grab you and pull you to the M tank.
You don't need the helicopter to get the M tank, but it is absolutely free to get with the helicopter. Slurpee going to use the M tank immediately. Just the sooner you use it, the less ammo you need it to refill, so the faster you can get moving again. Of course, the risk with that being that's the only tank either runner is really seeing in the run. Neither one picking up the E tank in Plugman stage.
Yeah, Slurpee utilizing the laser trident here to just kind of rush through this section, which is not an easy section because of the spikes on the roof. Everything that can knock you off the platforms. It's a scary section, but he runs through it.
Yeah, some of those Joes are just kind of in the right place. Some of those Tridents are being fired before the Joes are on the screen. Slurpee's getting hits in and just not stopping. Twin Devil.
Yeah, it's 5 hits from the black hole. So we'll pause buffer here to get all 5 in. Great fight.
Easy. BT getting the M tank, also using it pretty much right away. Slurpee there. Yeah, the Twin Devil black hole just is only going to hit once per shot, so you got to use the pause cancels to take care of business if you want the one cycle. Final stage for Slurpee.
Yeah, the refight stage before the Wily machine.
It doesn't look like it, but Slurpee is doing some semi-specific movement here. The cycles are somewhat known, just the color flashing on like the Dr. Wily logo. You're going to see it in the background of this room. You want to go in this teleporter at around the 4th yellow one for the way they went through the first stage. Nice Twin Devil from BT. And if Slurpee did this right, we'll get 2 swoops.
2 swoop.
Has to wait for the concrete block to go away to pick up the health.
Oh, taking a different robot master order here.
Yeah, not sure why we're going here second. It just seems a little weird. Nothing wrong with it. You're going to have to cross the room at some point anyway, though. You general idea is go to that middle left one last, so you're already on Laser Trident to save that menu. And now Slurpee gonna go up top. You kind of want to do Magma before Hornet for menuing. We'll see in a little bit.
Oh, it looks like BT going for the manip as a lot. We'll see if he gets it. One swoop, two swoop.
Nice. Tornado Man being a bro for Slurpee in the refights. Magma, you don't actually have enough Tornado to take down Magma Man unless some interesting things happen, and it's not worth waiting for the setup. Magma, the universal backup, even against Magma Man himself. Hornet weak to Magma, that's the menu we were talking about a little earlier.
Yeah, I find it's kind of rare to hit 2 tornadoes. It's just quicker to switch over to the Magma Bazooka.
Yeah. Slurpee taking care of business. BT getting Tornado Man up in the air, so having to do a little jumping to actually connect with Plug Ball. Still making good progress through the refights, but Slurpee's already at the Wily machine.
Yeah, so this is the first out of 3 phases. Basically, he's gonna spit eggs out, and you gotta push it back into his mouth, but Slurpee makes easy work of that.
And just as I'm sure a lot of people here know, this is a best of 3. Wily, no joke though. So Slurpee getting the bazooka out to get a couple of extra hits in here.
Yeah, second phase is weak to concrete, and that's why you want to try to save as much as you can.
Plug Ball in the last phase here, the Wily capsule, and just trying to find space to get hits in. It's not easy. Gotta keep an eye on that health here too.
Yeah, he's getting kind of low, but Wily one hit, and it's time.
And that's that. Slurpee winning by the Wily fight. GG to Slurpee.
Yeah, that was a great run there. BT though on onto the Wily machine. Good phase 1.
You're here. Might as well practice beating the video game.
Wow, he made quick work of that phase 2.
I'm still kind of trying to play that back in my head because that kill was beautiful.
Yeah, that was perfection. Whoa.
The Wily Casino where the house always wins. What
What was that, Wily? That was amazing.
They say you always get like your best RNG on your worst run. Holy. Ow.
That was some
You might not ever see a better Wily 4 pattern than that.
Good game, Legacy Collection 2. I thought BT was playing on PS3.
Her BT already saying he's doesn't even want to look at his timer in the second race. So we'll see.
That was a fantastic race there. With
Yeah.
Slurpeeninja coming out 1 penguin ahead.
So this is a best of 3, like we said in the semifinal here. BT looking to avoid the 3rd place match, and Slurpee looking to go on to the final. We're going to wrap up things on the back end of SRL here, and we'll be right back. Anything else you want to say about the first race, Hydro Bears?
No, I mean, that was a great race. So GG to both racers.
Yeah, BT going to take a quick break here, just kind of recover. I'm sure Slurpee's going to as well. Heck, I'm going to in a moment too. So if you need to get a drink, do something, we'll be right back. We are still here, folks. Just kind of waiting for the next race. We're between matches. Grab a drink, hit the bathroom. You've got a minute, folks. PT taking the moment. Slurpee here. Probably just going to warm up for a moment. If you are looking at the time trials of this is a mode that's still here for Legacy Collection 2. That timer up there actually doesn't run when you pause the game, so it went 8:38, still moving. Well, not moving, I should say. I'm not sure what that sound was.
Yeah, that was a weird sound. I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, I definitely left the street. My mic for a moment to go grab another Pepsi. I think I'm finding the Pepsi I didn't finish last night, too. Ugh.
Oh, I'm already one coffee in, and I only got like 2 hours of sleep, if that.
So, while we are waiting, let's just throw the links out there in chat for our runners. Slurpeeninja and btfm, just like it's spelled on the screen. Definitely throw them a follow. If you want to follow Hydra Bears and myself, you can do that too if you really want to. Follow SpeedGaming and enjoy speedrunning. We'll be ready with round 2 soon enough, and I guess we're going to get to listen to Magma Man's music in the interim.
I think my favorite soundtrack, actually. Looks like BT now getting some practice in on Magma.
It's not just BT's death here in this stage earlier. This section right here is probably one of the most perilous sections of the run. The classic, it worked in practice, applying now.
Oh, that's always how it is. Practices will go perfect, and then as soon as you start the race.
So yeah, we're just sort of wrapping up the last couple of things before we get started on round 2 here.
So Chad asks, Mr. Cab, why is it called Go for Broke event?
Go for Broke, the Wily Casino, all those terms kind of building up with each other here. It really is just sort of the joke within the community of the last section here. This capsule, maybe not be the most difficult capsule across the series, but it's certainly one of the very RNG heavy ones for how fast you can complete it. Plug ball being basically melee attacks, because you have to kind of be right up close. Plug ball, if it's fired in the air, will drop straight down before it goes anywhere else. And that is the weakness. Everything else that you can hit it with, it's only going to do 1 point of damage. So it's the Wily Casino. We're going for broke. We're hoping for the best. We're just working on some tech issues here in the background. We should be getting started with Game 2 shortly. Sorry for the wait, everybody, and thank you if you're in North America. Thank you for either waking up on the East Coast or still being up as we go further west. If you're more like Slurpee and you're just a night owl anyway. Oof. I know it is not quite 5 a.m. here on the East Coast.
Yeah, we're at about 5 a.m. here too, and I do not think I can play Mega Man at this time of the morning.
We didn't get to talk about the first race. Those jumps right there are just so tight.
Yeah, if you make any misjump there, like if you jump too short or jump too high, like it can be bad news bears.
6 p.m. in Japan right now, because we're talking about what time it is. Good evening over there. How was Saturday? How is the future? I think after Slurpee's done with the shark here, we are going to be ready to get going on round 2. And possibly even before then. Remember to use your Wiimote responsibly.
Make sure you have the wrist straps on.
So welcome to game 2. As we get back in here, once again, this is the semi-final race. This is game 2 of 3. At least we hope it's only 3. Slurpee taking the first race, pretty much with a very solid run, getting that mid-32. btfm taking a couple of deaths early in Magma Man stage and Plug Man stage. Otherwise putting together a very solid run, but that just put him a minute behind Slurpee.
Yeah, I think if he wouldn't have taken those 2 deaths there with the casino or the Wily fight he got, he could have easily taken that.
Yeah, just classic. You have a bad run and all of your endgame RNG is perfect and you just never see it again.